So Batman Forever just came out in 4K Ultra HD. I've already reviewed the first two that came out, so now I am on number 3, and I've actually reviewed this movie in a separate movie review, and you can check that out right over here. And if you like this video, make sure you subscribe down here. And while you're at that, why don't you comment down below, let me know what you feel about Batman Forever and this disc. And to get straight into the video quality here, this was actually given a 4K scan, which means that this has a 4K digital intermediate now, and originally this was shot on 35mm. Now, what I will say is we're getting into the Blu-rays that weren't that bad, but at the same point in time, they aren't that great. They were just fine, I would say, when it comes to the previous Blu-ray. The sharpness of this presentation is largely bumped up. You notice it right off the bat. When you get into that Batcave, and as ridiculous as that scene is, you know, there is a whole lot of sharpness and detail in that scene. You get a lot of detail in the Batcave and the new Batmobile that they have. And right there is a perfect example of what you are going to get throughout this movie. That scene just looks so much better in 4K. It is unbelievable. Like the other releases, the depth of field here is largely bumped up. And it feels very, very three-dimensional. And when you're getting into the HDR, I was very interested in checking this out just because here is a color palette that would really lend itself pretty well to HDR and the 4K format. I mean, the bright neon colors and, you know, all of that, it is just ripe for this format. I don't know how else to say it. The pops of purple, pink, and green, and all of those colors just really come off the screen. You do not get any bleeding in those colors, and it is glorious. HDR also helps out in those shadow details, and a lot of the just the picture just looks brighter and so much more vibrant and alive. I will say that because of this, it definitely does make it look like more of a set. Even more of a set than it did back in the day when this movie came out or on Blu-ray, but still, this is a damn good looking presentation. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the scenes do come across pretty soft, so I guess some people could call this inconsistent. A lot of it has to do with the really bad CGI that they tried to do with maneuvering around the city. But, you know, when you put that to the side, this is a great looking transfer that I will give a 9 out of 10 to. And when you're getting into the audio here, whether you watch this on the Blu-ray that is given to you with this release, or you watch it in 4K, you will get a upgraded Dolby Atmos mix, and you will want this mix because it sounds phenomenal. Now, on the previous Blu-ray, I will say that this is where the Batman movies kind of, you know, they sounded a lot better. And the surrounds were used more heavily, but this just amps it up. The Joel Schumacher universe is just so bright and garish and in your face and so fast-paced for an ADD generation. You know, this is what you want. It is loud, very loud, and very in your face. Height speaker work is used to an incredible amount. You know, straight from the opening credits, as they fly past your screen, they fly over your head. and it doesn't stop. The field of sound is massive here, and speaker separation is so on point. It is phenomenal. Bass response, it is so good. I can literally feel it in my chest at some points. It is great. And what I will say is that this isn't, reference quality material, but it is the next best thing. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. This is what you want from this movie if you like this movie. And when you're getting into the digital copy here, you are given a Movies Anywhere digital copy, which means that you can download this on Vudu and on iTunes, along with a bunch of other different platforms. But what I will say about that is I have heard that on Vudu, I don't have a Vudu account, so I won't really know about this, but I have heard that on Vudu, the 4K version is not available. But I can say that I've checked it out on iTunes and it is in 4K there for you people. And to get into the special features here, like all of the previous releases, the director's commentary is the only special feature on the 4K disc. That is with Joel Schumacher this time around. And hey, this guy, he has a lot to say. It is very interesting to kind of listen to him as he explains what is going on screen, because it is insanity. And when you pop in that Blu-ray disc, you'll get all of the other special features, which will be the typical making of docs. You will get a featurette that goes into the heroes of the movie. You'll get a featurette that goes into the villains here. You will get a music video as well. This time it's from Seal. Remember him? Kiss from a Rose in the Grave. That is on here as well. And the theatrical trailer too. There is a decent amount here, just as much as Batman Returns, and that is why I'm going to give it the same score of a 7 out of 10. And to get into my last looks at Batman Forever, this movie is pretty polarizing for me. It's a movie that I remember loving as a kid. Loving! But now I want to slap my younger self around and say that this is not what you want from your Batman. This movie is absolutely 100% tone deaf. It has wild tonal swings and ridiculous versions of characters that you know and love. I will just put it that way. And I can't get with this movie anymore. And if you didn't watch my video review for Batman Forever, I gave it a 4 out of 10. So it's not that forever for me. And when you add up all my scores for Batman Forever in 4K Ultra HD, you come out to a 29 out of 40. That is largely because of the quality of the movie itself. I don't really like this movie. I've said it. So, with that being said, if you like this movie, pick this release up. Everything about it is great, and you will have a good time. And how can you tell that I've been rushing around? Because I actually forgot to change my shelf. Yes, next on the docket here on HD by me is Batman and Robin. I will be suffering through that for you guys. If you are excited for that for some morbid reason, comment down below. Let me know what you have thought about it if you have already seen it. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I do this for you. You're awesome. I don't even need to say it because you know it. And I will see all of you next time.